Now, today, Bernie Sanders released his Medicare for All program, which would essentially turn our healthcare system into a very comprehensive single-payer plan. It's a pretty good plan. Now, of course, there's pushback from health insurance companies, of course, corporate Democrats, and, of course, Republicans that are funded by health insurance companies and large pharmaceutical companies. Now, speaking of corporate interests, one of them happens to be very, very concerned that the rising price of drugs will sell the American people who are still unsure about single payer. Well, that's going to spur people into embracing single payer. Now, this is Brent Saunders, right? Now, he's chief executive of Allergan. Now, Allergan happens to be a large pharmaceutical company, one of the largest in the world, actually. And he was talking about single payer last weekend. He was at a Wells Fargo healthcare conference that was happening in Boston. Now that is apparently gathering for investors in major pharmaceutical and biotech firms. So you can see who they represent there, who he's talking to. And he had this to say about single payer in America. Let's watch.
I think we've got to do things to bring that trust back, because ultimately someone's going to be in the White House, somebody's going to be in Congress, someone's going to be somewhere and going to have to say, enough's enough. Let's just change the whole system. Let's go to one payer. Let's do something. Unless we really have shown that this model works, it delivers innovation, it delivers it in a fair and appropriate way, and they're good, strong, profitable companies.
As far as being sick of the rising prices, yeah, we're already at that point. And we're already at the point of where people are asking for a Medicare for All system. In fact, single payer now has a 60% approval rating among the general populace and over 70% among Democrats. So people are tired of this system, and they blame the system, and they blame people like you. Now, in fact, to show you how much people do not trust the pharmaceutical industry, there was a Harris poll that was recently done that found that only 9% of Americans believe the pharmaceutical companies put patients over their profits. 9%. That is beyond disastrous, because it's true. I mean, there's very good reason to believe that, because look at the prices for prescription drugs. Super expensive. And these same companies that charge an arm and a leg for some of these prescription drugs, well, they end up getting giant tax breaks. People know when they're getting ripped off, and I think a big part of the decline in trust is also people like Martin Shkreli, who famously jacked up the price of Daraprim. And then you also had the Mylan CEO and the EpiPen jacking up the price of that. So there's very good reason why people do not like or trust pharmaceutical companies. Now, Saunders, he's going to go on, and he's now going to make a ridiculous comparison between both the right and left wing. Let's listen to that.
My view is that unfortunately, the party that seems to be out of power tends to move dramatically to the left or to the right. We saw it when the Democrats, in Obama's first term, when the Democrats swept. We saw the Tea Party emerge, right? And we saw a real push to get more conservative candidates through the primary system to really be, much more conservative. We're seeing almost the equal but opposite reaction here now that they've been swept out. The left of their party is really gotten a louder voice and taken control. And so, Bernie Sanders and others in that movement have really tried to vet candidates, on the opposite side of the coin as the Tea Party was. So we're seeing the divide go further, and clearly, they want to go to that part of the party wants to go to a one-payer system. The problem with that is it's not going to happen, and then the farther they go apart, the more polarizing it becomes. And so do we actually get a practical solution? Do we actually get to helping the people who need it most, right, to getting to a system that actually works? I think I become more discouraged.
No, you're discouraged because we are actually seeing progress on this issue. You're discouraged because, oh shit, if they pass single payer, there go my giant profits. I'm just saying, that would be why you would seem discouraged, but no. So here's a ridiculous comparison. If you caught it, see the left, they're becoming just like the Tea Party. No, see, that's what we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure everybody has health care. The Tea Party was like, no, we hate Obamacare. We want to rip health care away from everybody. And the thing is that making sure everybody has health care, that's not a left idea. That's a practical idea. That's what government is supposed to do, to provide for the general welfare. I know some people will argue against that, but that's what we want government to do, to be able to provide these kind of services that they can provide better than the so-called free market. And there's a lot of evidence that government can do that because it's done in almost every single advanced country in the world. It's not like we haven't tried this before. Or it's not like nobody has tried this before. They've tried this before, and guess what? They actually pay lower, and they have lower prices, and they actually have everybody that's covered. I know, crazy, right? But look, the reason that he's coming out like this is that the guy's scared. These CEOs, look, a lot of these CEOs are afraid that people are starting to come out in favor of single payer. They're fed up with the greed of the pharmaceutical companies. Now, let me give you an example here, and let's go to Lee Fong of The Intercept, who wrote about this. Now, Allergan apparently has been in trouble before, and what they did is that, Lee Fong explains. Allergan CEO has been under fire in recent weeks for taking the unprecedented step of transferring the patent of one of Allergan's blockbuster drugs, the eye medication Restasis, to a sovereign Native American tribe as part of a bid to maintain monopoly control over the drug and its revenue. Isn't this amazing? Now he goes on to explain that the highly unusual legal strategy is designed to keep generic drug firms from challenging the Restasis patent, thus lowering the cost to consumers, while keeping Allergan in effective control of the revenue through its deal with the St. Regis Mohawk tribe. The Restasis patent was approved 15 years ago and was actually set to expire back in 2014. However, the Allergan deal is part of an attempt to renew the patent and extend the company's control of the drug through 2024. See, this shit right here, this is why Americans don't trust you. That's why only 9% of all Americans, according to a Harris survey, think that, no, you will definitely not put your profits over people. Only 9% think that. And the rest of Americans are like, yeah, you'll definitely put profits over people because that's what you do. You're a company. That's what you're supposed to do. And look, it's not because these companies are evil. And like, I want to make sure to make this argument because I think a lot of people mistake this as like, you're against business, you're against capitalism, you think these companies or corporations are evil. No, they're not evil. They have no morality. There's no good morality. There's no bad morality. They have no morality. Their entire function is to make profit. So we have to have rules on these companies called regulations. We call those regulations in order to make sure that these companies, in their pursuit of profit, which is their main goal, don't screw people over and don't use these weird legal tricks to be able to keep their patent and prevent the drugs from being, becoming generics or being copied by generics that would lower the price and increase competition for that drug. We're tired of it, okay? Look, this is why we're getting tired of Big Pharma. This is why we're getting tired of insurance companies. We're tired of your corruption. We're tired of the shady deals. We're sick of the crony capitalism in the healthcare industry that leads us to pay more than anybody else in the world for both healthcare and prescription medicines that people need to stay alive. It's not like there's like Bernie Sanders earlier had a bill that would allow us to import cheaper drugs from Canada. It's not like the Canadian government is making those drugs. The same corporations that make the drugs here also make the drugs in other places. It's the same company. It's the same drug. It's the same standards. And in some companies, or countries, I should say, actually they have higher standards. Why do we pay more here? It's because they can get away with it. In Canada, they cannot. That's why it's like, hey, we'll import the Canadian drugs that are actually sold cheaper there. That would force them to lower their prices so they could actually, I don't know, so we could actually save some money. But they don't do that. And look, if you want to blame anybody for this trust issue, going back to what this guy said at the beginning of this clip, well, if anybody's to blame, it's you. You overrode that trust. People like you pour millions of dollars into our political system so you can work against the regular people, the American people, all to make an extra buck. Well, we're done with that. The American people are done with you. You can't gain back that trust. And look, this is not just a simple reaction. This is not the Tea Party. This is not politics. This is people feeling screwed over and getting behind something that's actually going to help them. And not only that, but this is us trying to join the rest of the industrialized world in making sure that everybody is treated equally, that everybody has equal access to health care. And that's what's important. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.